The Dynamic Customer module has several reports that can be viewed or printed. Let's review some of the procedures and structures used by most reports in the dynamic system. To activate the printing of reports, we look at the top of the screen and we find the Report option. Where the Report option appears can vary based on whether we are in a module or not. When we are not in a module, you can see it is the second item across. If I were to open a module, you can see that the reports move across. Let's cancel out of here and go back. Select the module. When you want to report, go up to File, over to Report, click on the report, and you'll see that a selection of all the modules appears. Select the module you want, and you'll notice that another box opens up with all the various reports available to that module. Let's click on the first choice, the Detailed Customer Report. Just like when you go into a module, the selection criteria window appears. Just like you can limit the records that appear on a screen when you make a request for data, you can limit the data that appears on reports. The selection criteria box works the same way. If we just want the report for only one customer, or let's say only the customers that belong to one sales rep, then click on the salesperson box, select the required customer or required salesperson, and then you would click OK. Remember, if we change our mind, simply click on the clear button, or if you want to exit the selection criteria window completely, press the cancel button. But notice it really doesn't cancel it, it simply takes you back into a blank report. Press select again to get the selection criteria screen back. If you want all the records on the report, then simply click OK with the boxes blank. Let's look at the structure of the print buttons. The top set of buttons allows us to control what we see on the report, and the bottom buttons control the output of the data. Let's look at the top buttons. Before we look at the buttons, it's important to realize that not all reports are requested to be printed. Often you request a report just for the information and not the paper. If you find the information you need on the screen and you don't need it printed, then you can simply cancel the report at this point by pressing the close button. Let's quickly get back into these reports to look at the buttons. Select Report, Customer, Detailed Customer Report, and let's just say OK to the selection criteria so we get all of the data. If we look up in the top right hand corner, we can see that there is 123 pages to this report. If I want to move around those pages, I have a variety of ways. First of all, I have the first 4 buttons on the top bar. The last button takes us to the last page of the report. You can now see I'm on page 123 of 123. If I want to go to the previous page, I simply select the previous button, and you'll notice I'm now at page 122, 121, 120. If I want to go to the next page, I click on Next, and you can see it's starting to move me back up the reports. If I want to go back to the beginning of the report, I can click on the first button, and it takes me back to page 1. If I want to find pages in between 1 and 123, I can use the scroll bar to scan down. Notice, as I scan down, there's a box in the middle of the right-hand side that tells me which page of this report the scroll bar is currently at. The next set of buttons we have adjusts the size of the report on the screen. If I select the 125% button, it makes the report bigger. If I select the 50% button, it makes the report smaller. It's important to realize that this changing of size is only on the screen and not on the printout. The last button on the top row is the search button. This works to further refine the data on the report. The search button, when we click on it, opens up an area at the bottom that gives us several options. First, it allows us to pick which field in the report that we want to work with. By clicking on this, I now have access to all of the various fields. Let's select State, for example. So let's go down and find the State button